Hello everyone, today I am going to tell you about Newton's law. Uh, First of all, Newton's law of motion are three physical laws that together laid the foundation for classical mechanics. They describe the relationship between a body and the forces acting upon it and its motion in response to those forces. More precisely, the first law defines the force qualitatively. The second law offers a quantitative measure of the force, and the third asserts that a single isolated force does not exist. These three laws have been expressed in several ways over nearly 3 centuries. And for the first law is everybody persists in its state of being at rest or of moving uniformly straightforward except insofar as it is compelled to change its state by force impressed. The second law state that the alteration of motion is ever proportional to the motive force impressed and is made in the direction of the right line which that force is impressed. And the third law states that to every action there always oppose an equal reaction, or the mutual action of two bodies upon each other are always equal and directed to contrary parts. For the history of Newton's law is the Greek philosopher Aristotle had the view that all objects have a natural place in the universe, that heavy objects such as rocks want to be at rest on the earth, and that light objects like smoke wanted to be at rest in the sky, and the star wanted to remain in the heavens. He thought that a body was in its natural state when it was at rest, and for a body to move in a straight line at constant speed, an external agent was needed to continually to propel it. Otherwise, it would stop moving. Galileo Galilei, however, realized that a force is necessary to change the velocity of a body, an example acceleration, but no force is needed to maintain its velocity. In other words, Galileo stated that in the absence of a force, a moving object will continue moving. The tendency of object to resist change in motion was what Johannes Kepler had called inertia. This insight was refined by Newton, who made it into his first law, also known as the law of inertia. No force means no acceleration, and hence the body will maintain its velocity. As Newton's first law is a restatement of the law of inertia which Galileo had already described, Newton appropriately gives credit to Galileo. Leonardo da Vinci, who studied flight and designed many speculative flying machines, understood that an object offers as much resistance to the air as the air object does. The law of inertia apparently occurred to several natural philosophers and scientists independently, including Thomas Hobbes in his Leviathan, 1651. The 17th-century philosopher and mathematician René Descartes also formulated the law, although he did not perform any experiment to confirm it. Next is the Newton first law. The first law stated that if the net force, the vector sum of all forces acting on an object is zero, then the velocity of the object is constant. The velocity is a vector with quantity which expresses both the object's speed and the direction of its motion. Therefore, the statement that the object velocity is constant is a statement that both its speed and the direction of its motion are constant. The first law can be stated mathematically when the mass is a non-zero constant as sigma f equals 0. This is the example of Newton's first law, a suspension bridge. A suspension bridge is built to support its own weight and the weight of any traffic crossing it without collapsing. The bridge weight pull it down, but the force is balanced by upward force from the pillar. A stretching force called tension in the steel cable and suspender also pull the bridge upwards and support its weight. Next is the second law. Newton's second law states that the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the force applied, and this change in momentum takes place in direction of the applied force. F dp per dt equal dmv per dt. The second law can also be stated in terms of an object acceleration. Since Newton's second law is valid only for constant mass system, m can be taken outside the differentiation operator by constant factor rule in differentiation. Thus, F equal m dv per dt equal ma. So F equal ma, where F is the net force applied, m is the mass of the body, and a is the body acceleration. Thus, the net force applied to a body produces a proportional acceleration. In other words, if a body accelerating, then there is a force on it. This is the example of Newton's second law, a parachute material. A parachute is a device that used to slow the motion of an object through an atmosphere by creating a drag. In case of a ram air parachute, aerodynamic lift. Parachutes are usually made out of light, strong cloth, originally silk, most commonly nylon. The strength cloth should possess a high resistance to the continuation of, a tear already started, whereas breaking strength always applies to the simultaneous breaking of system of yarns. The elasticity, parachute quick and positive opening depends largely on the ability of the player of the layer of the cloth to spring apart along the folds, thus promoting air to rush in and quickly inflate the envelope. The elasticity of cloth tends to distribute the sudden load of more uniformly over the envelope, thereby preventing development of excessive stress in the region of the envelope. Permeability. Permeability is dependent upon the porosity of the fabric. The porosity is largely determined by the thickness of the fabric weave. Therefore, any fabric that has reasonably tight weave is suitable for this perspective. Next is the Newton's third law. The third law states that all the forces between two objects exist in equal magnitude and opposite direction. If one object A exerts a force Fa and the second object B, then B simultaneously exerts a force Fb on A. The two forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Fa equal minus Fb. The third law means that all forces are interaction between different bodies or different regions within one body, and thus that there is no such thing as a force that is not accompanied by an equal and opposite force. In some situations, the magnitude and direction of force are determined entirely by one of the two bodies. Say body A, the force exerted by body A on body B is called the action, and the force exerted by body B and body A called the reaction. This law is sometimes referred to as action-reaction law, with Fa called the action and Fb called the reaction. In other situations, the magnitude and the direction of the force are determined jointly by both bodies, and it isn't necessary to identify one force as the action and the other as the reaction. The action and the reaction are simultaneous, and it does not matter which is called the action and which is called the reaction. Both forces are part of a single interaction, and neither force exists without the other. This is the example of Newton's third law. As a fish tail moves, it generates both sideways and backward thrust in the water. The resultant force acts diagonally halfway between the two. As the fish moves its tail from side to side, the resultant diagonal thrust to left and right produces a net backward thrust, so the fish will swim in a straight line. That's it from me. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.